Hey, we are back with another song by Eminem.
Yes.
And which one are we doing today?
Today we are doing Beautiful.
Okay, I think I know that one too.
Yeah, this was a popular one off the album.
Has there been one that I haven't known yet in this album?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Think you didn't know Old Time's Sake.
No, I don't. See,
And
now that you're saying it, I've heard it, so I'm like, wait, do I know it?
I think
Did I
you
not know?
I
I
think you
don't
didn't know it.
remember what I knew and what I didn't know.
Yeah.
Because now I know it.
Yeah, so this one was a pretty popular song um off of Relapse. A
Yeah.
lot of people say it's their favorite song off the album. I mentioned that when this album came out, I was fucked up in my own life and doing drugs and shit, and I wasn't listening to music, and I didn't like this album. I didn't like any music, but I didn't like this. This song was the first song that I really got into from the album a few years later, and so I really liked this song, and then I got into the rest of the album at that point. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a good song.
Yeah, I remember the chorus. I don't remember really much else or really what it's about.
It's pretty
He's just telling you to
depressing.
don't let him tell you that you're not beautiful, right?
Yeah,
And that
so
reminds me of a Christina Aguilera song, I think, and I can't remember the name of it.
yeah. So he
Can't
apparently
remember.
wrote the first verse or the first two verses while he was in rehab.
Oh, so he's like
And
shot,
then, yeah. So
like, or beginning of rehab or end of rehab, or he
it
doesn't
doesn't really matter. He's
say.
still fucked up.
Well, beginning of rehab, that's bad.
Yeah,
The end of rehab,
a little bit better.
yeah. Especially if he stayed sober this time, he's a lot better.
Yeah. So I don't think he he went to rehab, relapsed, and then I don't think he went back to rehab the last time he got sober.
Yeah,
I
if
think I think he got detoxed at a hospital, he said,
and then
and
went
then went
into the
home.
rooms.
Yeah. AA.
Yeah. If you've been in the rooms already, that's all you need to do.
Yes.
You don't need to go to rehab again unless like you're like super fucked, I
Sometimes
guess.
you just need to get away from shit, so it helps.
Yeah, but ultimately it's still you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
All right. Beautiful.
Lately I've been hard to reach. I've been too long on my own. Everybody has a private one where they can be alone. Are you calling me? Are you trying to get through? Are you reaching out for me? I'm reaching out for you.
I'm just so fucking depressed, I just can't seem to get out this slump. If I could just get over this hump, but I need something to pull me out this dump. I took my bruises, took my lumps, fell down and I got right back up. But I need that spark to get psyched back up in order for me to pick the mic back up. I don't know how or why or when I ended up in this position I'm in. I'm starting to feel distant again, so I decided just to pick this pen up and try to make an attempt to vent. But I just can't admit or come to grips with the fact that I may be done with rap. I need a new outlet, and I know some shit's so hard to swallow, but I just can't sit back and wallow in my own sorrow. But I know one fact, I'll be one tough act to follow. One tough act to follow. I'll be one tough act to follow. Here today, gone tomorrow, but you have to walk 1,000 miles. In my shoes, just to see what it's like to be me. I'll be you, like straight shoes, just to see what it'd be like to feel your pain, you feel mine. Go inside each other's minds, just to see what we find. Look at shit through each other's eyes, but don't let them say you ain't beautiful. Oh, they can all get fucked, just stay true to you. So don't let them say you ain't beautiful. Oh, they can all get fucked, just stay true to you. Stop. I'm starting to lose my
Sorry.
Why is it sad? Why is it making me sad?
Oh, it's
The
a
song
very,
never made me sad before. I think it's because I'm actually reading it.
now this song always makes me like sad. It gets, it's a little positive towards the end, but you could tell it's not just the lyrics are sad, the musically, melodically, it's sad. Even though it's like him talking about being in this dark, lonely place. You know what I mean?
The music isn't sad to me. It's
To
the
me, it is.
words, which is so weird because I've been listening to murder podcasts and crime all day, like I usually do. And like none of them make me sad, but this makes me sad. Not that
Yeah.
those don't make me sad, like it's fucked up for sure, but I'm not like about to cry.
Yeah. Well, music is really powerful. You know what I mean? That's why it
Yeah.
gets those emotions. So you had asked who this was singing.
Yes.
So this is Paul Rogers, and it's from a song called "Reaching Out" by Queen and Paul Rogers.
Who is Paul
So
Rogers?
to be honest, I heard the song "Beautiful" by Eminem before I ever heard the song "Reaching Out." I
Yeah, I
never,
don't know the song Reaching Out.
yeah, it's which is rare for me. Like I typically, if a song's sampled, I recognize, you know what I mean? I mean, it's not even sampled really. It's like literally just taking a part of that song. I remember
Well, it's a sample,
I
technically.
was in like CBS and I heard the original song play for the first time. I was like, oh shit. I was like, I didn't realize this was like, a sampled song. I thought he just got the
I
guy to
get the
sing.
idea that it's a sampled song. I don't know why, but it just the way that it is, it just tells me like this is a real song.
Yeah. So yeah, I actually don't know. I don't know anything about Paul
I
Rogers. I know
know the
Queen.
Queen.
Yeah. So it starts off with the sample from Paul Rogers, Reaching Out. It says, lately I've been hard to reach. I've been too long on my own. Everybody has a private world where they can be alone.
Yeah, with their crime scene podcasts.
Yes. It says, are you calling me? Are you trying to get through? Are you reaching out for me? Then I'm reaching out for you.
Aw.
So yeah, that alone is fucking sad. So he's saying like he's disconnected, and then so this part, so yeah, he goes, everybody has a private world where they can be alone. So it sounds like he's saying he likes to be in that private world, right? That's where he's comfortable, but he is feeling disconnected. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he says, "Are you calling me? Are you trying to get through?"
Sorry.
Because he doesn't know the answer. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
doesn't know if people are reaching out for him.
But it's so funny because it's like, well, like, does he mean like calling like vocally or like calling on the phone? Because like, wouldn't
Yeah,
he know? Like, well, obviously, you know what I
yeah.
mean?
And then are you reaching out for me? Then I'm reaching out for you. So
Mm.
I
It was
mean,
like figurative.
so this isn't an original thought to me. I read this somewhere at some time, but like particularly so we know this is Eminem's album Relapse. This is his first album while he was clean. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this, with the exception of apparently the first verse, maybe even the second verse too, he was fucked up when he wrote them. So he wasn't sober yet. So this is
So
like,
then it was like early rehab, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So it does this, which I'm assuming is why he used the sample. It encapsulates really where he was at his life, and he was gone so long from making music. When he said, "I'm reaching out for you," a lot of people say that was Eminem talking to his fan base, saying like, "I've been gone for so many years. I know you guys probably miss me, but I miss you too." You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
it's like, yeah. So it's interesting.
Again, I'm sure you've told me
What?
since his last album.
Wait, between this and the one before it? I think it was like four or five.
So it's significant enough to sort of like fall off the face of the earth.
So yeah, he just said it in the last song. He's like, and that's how come it's been 4 years since I put out an album, B. Yeah.
It's a long
4 years.
time in like artist years to where if it's been 4 years, like, oh, maybe they're done. You
Yeah,
know?
for sure. So he comes in, the first fucking line. I'm just so fucking depressed. I just can't seem to get out of this slump. If I could just get over this hump, but I need something to pull me out this dump. I took my bruises, took my lumps, fell down, and I got right back up.
Good.
But I need that spark to get psyched back up in order for me to pick the mic back up. So, yeah, he's depressed. He's in a fucked up place, slump. He's like, oh, if I could just get past this. He's like, but I need help. And he says, I took my bruises, took my lumps, fell down, and I got right back up, which to me alludes to the fact that, okay, he's newly sober. Like he just like
Yeah.
literally, he's still kicking probably. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
he's like, I took my bruises, took my lumps, fell down, and I got right back up. And then he says, but I need that spark to get psyched back up in order for me to pick the mic back up. So, I mean, you know what it's like when you first get clean.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're technically clean, but you're like so fucked up and you're not normal. Like,
Definitely not normal. I remember right like my last rehab, I guess I was just so numb emotionally for so long that even the slightest thing that was even like barely funny, I would be like hysterical laughing at it. And I would get so uncomfortable. I would be like, oh my God, I feel so awkward and I feel so weird. This is like cringy. Like, why am I laughing so hard at the dumbest shit? I just
Yeah.
had like no emotions for so long
So
that
that's a good thing, the laughing part. That's like the best part about getting clean, you know?
I hated that. I felt
So
like such a weirdo.
no, that part's
I laughed at
that's
everything.
cool though to actually experience that. For me, like that actually wasn't the last time I got clean. It was before that, before, when I had my previous stint of sobriety. I I couldn't laugh for months, you know what I mean? And I was like a shell and I was hollow and it was just straight depression, like there was no enjoyment. Like, and you feel like you lose the ability to function in life, you know what I mean? It's like I don't know how to do anything and like I'm depressed and my emotions are fucked. So I connect with that here. So he's sounds like he's newly sober,
Yeah,
but he says I need that spark to get psyched back up in order for me to pick the mic back up. So it's like he doesn't know how to rhyme, he doesn't know how to write raps, even though that's his whole
exactly.
life. He's like, I don't know how to do this. You have to learn again. He continues, I don't know how or why or when I ended up in this position I'm in. I'm starting to feel distant again. So I
Oh,
decided to just pick this pen up and try to make an attempt to vent, but I just can't admit or come to grips with the fact that I may be done with rap. I need a new outlet.
boy.
Yeah, so he's trying to get that spark to, get into rapping, but he's saying he doesn't know how or why he ended up, a drug addict and then sober, all that shit. And then he's starting to feel distant. So, disconnected from, I'm assuming everybody, his fan base in particular, because he's talking about writing. So he says, I decided to pick this pen up and try to make an attempt to vent because Eminem in particular, I'm sure most artists, you feel like their music, their art is like therapy for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They get out all their emotions and it kind of helps them make sense of it in their head and deal with it.
for
But
sure.
yeah. And then he says, but I just can't admit or come to grips with the fact that I may be done with rap. I need a new outlet. So I remember listening to Sirius XM had a brief show with Paul Rosenberg, the lawyer and manager of Eminem,
Okay.
and he interviewed people relating to Eminem and Eminem himself, and they were saying that at this time, like right before Relapse, before he wrote, they literally didn't know if he was capable. And apparently, like some of the first shit he wrote was like not good. Like they really thought like, oh shit, he might have actual brain damage and he might
Oh
not
my
be able to
God.
rap anymore. Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah. So
Well, that's not true.
no, obviously not. Um,
Like, really not true.
yeah. So come to grips with the fact that I may be done with rap. I need a new outlet. So he's like,
Like,
fuck,
what?
I can't do this anymore, and I don't know how to do anything else. This is all I've done.
Painting?
Yeah. He says, and I know some shit's so hard to swallow, but I just can't sit back and wallow in my own sorrow. But I know one fact, I'll be one tough act to follow. One tough act to follow, one tough act to follow, repeats itself. Here today, gone tomorrow, but you'd have to walk 1,000 miles. And then it picks up into in my shoes just to see what it's like to be me. I'll be you. Let's trade shoes just to see what it'd be like to feel your pain. You feel mine. Go inside each other's minds just to see what we find. Look at shit through each other's eyes. And then, but don't let them say you ain't beautiful. Oh, they can all get fucked. Just stay true to you. And then don't let them say you ain't beautiful. Oh, they can all get fucked. Just stay true to you. So yeah. So yeah, it's funny. There's not really a lot of breaking down that needs to be done,
No.
but I will just point out he's saying that, some shit's hard to swallow, the fact that he might not be rapping anymore. He says, but I can't sit back and wallow in my own sorrow. He says, but I know one fact, I'll be one tough act to follow. So there's a little bit of optimism and some self-confidence that like I know who I was at least at one point.
Yeah, so you can always go back to that.
Yeah, so he's like, I was good at what I did. You know what I mean? All right. Let's keep going. It's a long song.
I think I'm starting to lose my sense of humor. Everything's so tense and gloom. I almost feel like I gotta check the temperature of the room just as soon as I walk in. It's like all eyes on me, so I try to avoid any eye contact. Cause if I do that, then it opens the door for conversation like I want that. I'm not looking for extra attention, I just wanna be just like you. Blend in with the rest of the room, maybe just point me to the closest restroom. I don't need no fucking manservant trying to follow me around and wipe my ass. Laugh at every single joke I crack, and half of them ain't even funny like that. Marshall, you're so funny, man. You should be a comedian, goddamn. Unfortunately, I am. I just hide behind the tears of a clown. So why don't you all sit down? Listen to the tale I'm about to tell. Hell, we don't gotta trade our shoes, and you ain't gotta walk no 1,000 miles in my shoes just to see what it's like to be me. I'll be you. Let's trade shoes just to see what it'd be like to feel your pain. You feel mine. Go inside each other's minds just to see what we find. Look at shit through each other's eyes. But don't let them say you ain't beautiful. Oh, they can all get fucked, just stay true to you. So don't let them say you ain't beautiful. Oh, they can all get fucked, just stay true to you. So
Okay.
It's a long song. I never
I know, that's what I
realized.
said. It's crazy.
It's like 6.5 minutes long.
Yeah, I
So
pop.
don't complain that this video is really long because it's gonna be.
Yeah, it is. So I felt maybe it was like a 5 minute song, which is longer than normal, but yeah, 6:30 is a lot. All right, so verse two. I think I'm starting to lose my sense of humor. Everything is so tense and gloom. So I know what that's like. You just don't find anything funny. You're not in the mood to joke and kid around.
I
And
never had that.
I did. Everything is so tense and gloom. So yeah, you're just tight and it's dark. It's a very fucked up place to be in. I almost feel like I gotta check the temperature of the room just as soon as I walk in. It's like all eyes on me, so I try to avoid any eye contact because if I do that, then it opens a door for conversation. Like I want that. So he's he's saying he doesn't have a sense of humor, everything's dark, depressing, sad, very emo.
Yeah.
And then he says, almost feel like I got to check the temperature of the room just as soon as I walk in. It's like all eyes on me. So he's saying that, he's got to see like what's going on in the room,
Yeah, like should I even walk
what,
in here
yeah, like
or should I just leave?
what kind of people are there? Who are they? Are they going to talk? So
Yeah.
he says, it's like all eyes on me. So I try to avoid any eye contact. So I get that too. You don't want to make eye contact with anybody because then that's an opening to discuss somebody,
It's like when the
talk
teacher
to
is
them.
like, okay, now who knows the answer? And you're just like looking at the floor, you're like,
Yeah.
I don't. And then they call on you anyway. You're like, yo, I was looking at the floor. I didn't even look up for a second. Like, that is like the universal sign that I don't know the answer.
Well, for certain teachers, that's the person she's going to go to. You know what I mean?
Sometimes I would do that and I knew the answer. And then I would give the answer and I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah. So he
Hmm.
says, because if I do that, then it opens the door for conversation. Like I want that. So he doesn't want to have eye contact with people because he doesn't want to talk to people. Then he continues, I'm not looking for extra attention. I just want to be just like you, blend in with the rest of the room, maybe just point me to the closest restroom. So that's the fame part that was very common in his previous albums. We listened to the rise, of how he became more popular with each album. So yeah, he's talking about he's newly clean, he's fucked up, he doesn't know how to function, but he still has all that fame, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's like he doesn't know how to do anything and people just want to talk to
And they're
him.
like expecting him to just be like him, but like he's not going to be like that for a little bit.
Well, yeah, especially because Eminem, his whole career, he's infamously like funny and fucking around and joking and silly. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
like he said in the beginning of the verse, like, yeah, I'm not there right now. I'm not that guy. You know. So he wants to blend in with the rest of the room. Maybe point me to the closest restroom. He says, I don't need no fucking manservant trying to follow me around and wipe my ass. Laugh at every single joke I crack, and half of them ain't even funny. Like, ha. Marshall, you're so funny, man. You should be a comedian. Goddamn. So
They're like obviously just like trying to please him.
Hanger ons. Or it's actually hangers on. You know that?
I think I do.
That
I don't like using that word. I think
that
it sounds so
but
stupid.
yeah, you pluralize the hanger. That's like attorney general. If you're trying to say
Attorneys
that
general.
bothers me so much. I
I don't
hate
like
that. Why
that.
not attorney generals? Just
Let's just not even say it ever. Let's just say like those guys over there.
yeah. So anyway, hangers on, hanger ons, whatever.
Hmm.
People that are it's like, oh, you're so funny. You know what I mean? Like blowing
Like
smoke up his
wannabes,
ass. Yeah, they want to be close,
fake people.
all that shit. And he doesn't need a manservant either, he says. You should be a comedian, goddamn. And then he continues, unfortunately, I am. I just hide behind the tears of a clown, which is a cliche, typical, thing that clowns are sad inside.
Yeah, that's like a famous painting or
Yeah,
something by someone.
yeah, I don't remember. um, so why don't you all sit down, listen to the tale I'm about to tell? Hell, we don't gotta trade our shoes, and you ain't gotta walk no 1,000 miles. And then it picks up with the
Chorus.
chorus and what is that? The bridge? Maybe
It's
that's
like
part of it. It's a pre-chorus, I think.
it's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing there.
Yes. All right. Let's pick up here. We're only halfway through.
Oh my God.
They can all get fucked, just stay true to you. Nobody asked for life to deal us with these bullshit hands with doubt. We gotta take these cards ourselves and flip them, don't expect no help. Now I could've either just sat on my ass and pissed and moaned, or take the situation in which I'm placed in and get up and get my own. I was never the type of kid to wait by the door and pack his bags, or sat on the porch and hoped and prayed for a dad to show up who never did. I just wanted to fit in every single place, every school I went. I dreamed of being that cool kid, even if it meant acting stupid. And Edna always told me, keep making that face, it'll get stuck like that. Meanwhile, I'm just standing there holding my tongue, trying to talk like that, till I suck my tongue on that frozen stop sign pole at 8 years old. I learned my lesson then, cause I wasn't trying to impress my friends no more. But I already told you my whole life story, not just based on my description. Cause where you see it from where you're sitting is probably 110% different. I guess we would have to walk a mile in each other's shoes at least. What size you wear? I wear 10s. Let's see if you can fit your feet in my shoes, just to see what it's like to be me. I'll be you, like straight shoes, just to see what it'd be like to feel your pain, you feel mine. Go inside each other's minds, just to see what we find. Look at shit through each other's eyes. But don't let them say you ain't beautiful. Oh, oh. They can all get fucked, just stay true to you. So don't let them say you ain't beautiful. Oh, oh. They can all get fucked, just stay true to you. So
Okay. So I believe this is his last verse. I think they just bring back the sample and it plays for like a minute or so.
That's cool.
All right. So third verse comes in and says, wait, this is still the chorus. Nobody asked for life to deal us with these bullshit hands we're dealt. We got to take these cards ourselves and flip them. Don't expect no help. So that's a general message to everybody. Life deals you whatever situation you're in. And,
You just gotta deal with it.
yeah, it's bullshit a lot of the time. Not fair. But we have to work with what we're given and flip them, as he says, the card analogy. Don't
Mhm.
expect no help. You got to do it on your own. He continues now. I could have either just sat on my ass and pissed and moaned, or take the situation in which I'm placed in and get up and get my own. So, same thing. You
Yeah.
can't bitch or
No, you gotta get
expect
what you
help.
want. You gotta go out and get it. There
Yes.
are the lucky few who have everything handed to them,
Yeah,
but
of
like
course.
most of the time, you're not that person.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of them are miserable. So.
Yeah.
Then he says, I was never the type of kid to wait by the door and pack his bags and sat on the porch and hoped and prayed for a dad to show up who never did. So it's interesting. When I was listening to this, the idea came to me that, like, this verse in particular, he talks about, his rough upbringing, his dad not being there. and then also like trying to fit in as a child. These are like all things that feed into addiction. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know
Yeah.
if he was like conscious while he was writing it that like, oh, these are the things in my life that I didn't know how to cope and deal with
It's
in
like the
in addition to the
nurture aspect.
yeah, like in addition to the genetic aspect of addiction, there's, you use to help cope and deal with all these things, in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if it was conscious, but he says, he's saying he wasn't that kid though, that was like, oh, where's my dad, hoping that he's gonna come and all that. He just was like, I don't have a dad and that's it. Yeah,
That's sad.
yeah, it is. Then he continues, I just wanted to fit in every single place, every school I went. I dreamed of being that cool kid, even if it meant acting stupid. So I totally relate to that. I was totally that person doing wild, stupid shit, trying to be cool, make people like me. He continues, and Edna always told me, keep making that face, it'll get stuck like that. So I don't know what I'm wondering, like, what face do you think he was making?
Probably like rolling his eyes or something.
Maybe. I don't know if
Because
like
I would definitely
some,
hear that whenever I would roll my
sticking your
eyes.
tongue out, something like that.
Well, you wouldn't get stuck like that. You like that. It's usually you go like that, and your parents like, "Oh, don't do that. Your eyes will get stuck like that."
Yeah, so then he continues. Meanwhile, I'm just standing there holding my tongue, trying to talk like this. Oh, so his tongue is out. See, that's why in my head I was like, if he was sticking his
How are you
tongue
gonna
out,
get stuck like
trying to
that?
talk like this.
You're not gonna get stuck like that.
Well, so the next line, which I always wondered if he's claiming this actually happened to him or if he's just referring to the movie A Christmas Story, which is where it happens, where he says, till I stuck my tongue on a frozen stop sign pole at 8 years old. I learned my lesson then
It did get stuck like that.
because I wasn't trying to impress my friends no more. So yeah, that's from the movie A Christmas Story. They dare him. They triple dog dare him, and he sticks his tongue on the frozen stop sign pole. And all the kids go back into class, and the teacher's like, "Where is he?" And they look out the window, and he's stuck. His tongue
That's
is
so
literally,
funny.
and the fireman had to come and shit. So
All you need is a blow dryer, but you would need an outlet
yeah. So I don't know if
or hot water.
Eminem is saying this actually happened to him, or if he's just referencing A Christmas Story. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, so sticking your tongue out, literally getting stuck like that.
Pretty random.
Yes. Um, okay, because I learned my lesson then because I wasn't trying to impress my friends no more. But I already told you my whole life story, not just based on my description, because where you see it from where you're sitting is probably 110% different. So he's saying, this is my story, and this is what actually happened. It's just not my interpretation of it. Um, I guess we would have to walk a mile in each other's shoes at least. What size you wear? I wear 10s. Let's see if you can fit your feet.
I would wear a men's size 8.
Yeah.
You do not. I would not fit.
Yeah, I'm 12, so I wouldn't fit.
Sorry, Eminem. I guess we'll just never see each other's perspectives.
All right, so we pick up here.
Say you ain't beautiful. Oh, they can all get fucked, just stay true to you. So
Lately I've been hard to reach. I've been too long on my own. Everybody has a private world where they can be alone. Are you calling me? Are you trying to get through? Are you reaching out for me? I'm reaching out for you.
yeah. To my babies, stay strong. You gotta be home soon. And to the rest of the world, God gave you them shoes to fit you. Just put them on and wear 'em. Be yourself, man. Be proud of who you are. Even if it sounds corny, you'll never let no one tell you you ain't beautiful.
just fades out.
Mhm.
All right, so he's just got a little bit of
Yeah, like at the end, right?
outro dialogue. Yeah,
Hmm.
so
It's the sample again, same lyric.
yes, same lyrics from the opening of the song.
Mhm.
Yeah, so just real quick, the are you calling me or are you trying to get through? So you literally could interpret that like you were saying like on the phone, because it's like, are you trying to get through? So like in my mind, I'm imagining like Cole waiting. Like if I'm on the phone, it's like, oh, I'm trying to get through to you, but also the figurative, like you trying to get through to me. Are you calling
Yeah,
me?
like are we, like are you like missing talking to me? Like do you want to go, talk to me again?
Yeah,
And like, be my friend again or be like together again or something?
yeah.
And then when he goes, are you reaching out to me because then I'm reaching out to you. So it's like, well, if you're trying, like I'll try back, but like otherwise I'm just gonna stay over here and do my own thing.
Yeah, so I'm not sure. So in these lyrics on the video, it says, then I'm reaching out for you. I'm not sure if the word then is there, although it does sound like he says a word there sometimes. So I'm not
Mhm.
sure. Yeah. So, okay, the outro, he says, yeah, to my babies, stay strong. So his daughters, daddy will be home soon. So I'm wondering if he's taking the whole song from the perspective of being in rehab and away from them. You know what I mean? Or is he like out recording? You know what I mean? Like daddy will be home soon,
I think he means he's still in rehab.
or he's going to be himself. Yeah. And then he says, and to the rest of the world, God gave you shoes to fit you. So put them on and wear them. Be yourself, man. So it's a positive message. Be proud of who you are. And even if it sounds corny, never let no one tell you you ain't beautiful. So it does sound corny. It's very corny. And the whole song is technically corny and emo, but
It's good.
it's awesome. Yeah, no, it works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it does. And even like his singing, he always says he can't sing. I mean, he's not going to win awards for his singing, but I think he's a decent singer.
It's like it's not anything where I'd be like, "Whoa, what is
No, I
that?"
agree. I mean, yeah,
It's not bad.
there's some type of auto tuning or something to his vocals, but
Yeah, like I wouldn't question it. I wouldn't be like, "What the fuck is that?"
no,
I'm just like, "Oh, he's singing. It's
yeah, I
okay."
think he sounds good.
Like maybe he had some vocal lessons. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So that's it.
Yeah. So it's sad. I mean, it's cool that he wrote this as he was getting freshly sober, and I guess like it was kind of up in the air whether he would be able to go back to this or not.
Yeah.
So that makes it a lot better than like just being a regular song.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's got a good message. Like basically just letting people know like just be who you are. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't let anyone like make you feel like you're not special, you're not important, like that you don't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love this song. Like I said, it was the song that like reintroduced me to this album. Yeah, it's sad. I hear the song, it's like, yeah, it's like melancholy when I listen to it. But even though it does have uh a positive message, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The third verse is, where he's like dealing with like the things in his life, and then he talks about like wanting to try to fit in, but then like he learns his lesson like the hard way by getting his tongue stuck on the pole. But like, that's like a good message. Like, don't just be doing shit to try to fit in if you don't want to actually do it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then obviously the outro dialogue of, you know, be happy with your life, make the best of it, blah blah blah, all that. So it's good.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's a good song.
for sure.
So don't forget to like and subscribe, follow us on all social media channels, and happy holidays and Merry Christmas.
Yes.
And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you. Bye.